I dipped into the Cormo. Hello, I'm Kristen, also known as Voolenvine, here on my YouTube channel where I chat about what I'm knitting, what I'm sewing, what I'm making, or whatever crafty rabbit hole I happen to be diving down this week. Happy New Year, everybody! It is 2021. I hope your new year is off to a peaceful, healthy, happier new start. I'm back from yet another week hiatus because it was Christmas and it was the New Year, so I decided to give myself a week off to enjoy the holiday and have some much needed downtime to get all the making done, and by Jove, it was good. I got lots of knitting done. I don't know if you can see the elephant sitting in the room, but I will get more into that later on in the episode. First, I do have a couple of announcements to make. Of course, we have our history make-along that is currently underway. That is our year-long make-along where we're all endeavoring to make something historically inspired. So pick a time period that you're drawn to and make something inspired by it. Be it knitting, sewing, weaving, embroidery, whatever your craft is, you're welcome to join. And that is running until March 1st of this year, 2021. And it is coming up rather quickly, I think. So we've got, I think, about less than 2 more months to go, which is crazy sauce. So with that said, there is still plenty of time to join. And there are 2 ways to do that. The first is to hop on over to the Voolenvine Ravelry group, where there is a thread dedicated to the History Mall. All you have to do is join in the conversation, share your progress, your projects, photos, whatever's inspiring you, or just join the general chit chat. And come March 1st, I will lock that thread and choose a random participant to win a giveaway prize. And the second way to join, and you can certainly double dip, is to head on over to Instagram. Same rules apply. Share your progress, your projects, and again, I stress that you use that hashtag so I can find them and see what you're working on, and other people participating or curious can see what you're working on. And come March 1st, I can use a random comment generator or random generator to choose a person who used that hashtag at random to win a giveaway prize. Did that make any sense? Anyway, words escape me today, guys. I apologize. Anyway, this has been such a fun make-along. I hope those of you who have been participating have been enjoying it. I know whenever I go into that thread, there are just so many amazing projects that are showing up in there. So do check it out, and you will certainly be inspired by them. Last but not least, this channel is sponsored by Skillshare, which is an online learning community platform where you can learn practically anything. I use it all the time to hone my photography skills because, as you know, when I'm not knitting, I am usually wielding a camera, going outside, taking street photography photos, portraits, and the like, and Skillshare has a plethora of classes when it comes to photography. If photography is not your jam, don't worry, they have plenty of other classes when it comes to crafting and making. They have illustration classes, calligraphy classes, embroidery classes. They even have some knitting and sewing classes. And yes, I also use Skillshare when it comes to running my small business, Voolenvine Yarns. They have plenty of classes when it comes to social media marketing, branding, finances. Again, it's an endless list. Whatever you need to know, 9 out of 10, it's on Skillshare. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, click on the link in the description box below and you'll get to try Skillshare for 2 weeks absolutely free on yours truly. You're welcome, and thank you, Skillshare. All right, my friends, I have a finished object to share with you. Yay! So yes, I am back from a week off, which was absolutely wonderful. And like I said in the last episode, I did absolutely nothing. It was glorious. I got plenty of knitting done, and I have something to show for it this week, so yay! This is the Stripes Pullover, a wonderful pattern by Andrea Mowry. Apparently I'm on an Andrea Mowry sweater kick. I don't know, but this was kind of a spontaneous cast on. I know I talked about a couple of other projects that I was thinking about casting on, but this one, for some reason, in the moment, I pulled some colorways from my stash for another project that I was thinking about casting on, but something about it, I was like, I don't think I want to knit this project. So I had the yarn sitting on my desk, and I was scrolling Ravelry, as you do, for something new and shiny to cast on, and Stripes came into my feed. And yeah, I saw the yarn, I saw the pattern, and I was like, done. Because right now, all I really seem to want to do is knit stockinette. I can't escape it. So that hopped on my needles, and as you can tell, hopped off rather quickly. You're not going to be able to see the sweater in all of its glory, but I will stand up so you can get a general idea. Yeah, it's just a very simple top-down stockinette knit sweater, and it has some short row shaping in the back, and it ends right here. Right below the dip of my waist. I made the sleeves extra long because you know me, I like to pull sleeves over my hands to keep me warm. That's just how I roll. Here's what it looks like from the back. The jogging is very minimal. I don't know if you can tell. Andrea Mowry does provide a technique for reducing the look or appearance of jogging when it comes to switching colorways when you're knitting stripes. So I think it's still a little visible, but very barely. I don't know, maybe it's the way that I tied off the yarn and wove in the ends. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I did the same thing on the inside of the sleeve, so yeah, no. Let me talk about the yarn now. I'm actually going to insert some photos here so you can see what the sweater looks like in all of its glory. I did a little photo shoot outside in my backyard, and if my face looks like it's in pain, it's because it was freaking cold out, guys. So, you know, the things we do for the gram these days, what can I say? But the yarn that I used is my hand-dyed yarn, Voolenvine yarns, in 4 different colorways. Colorway A is Grim, which is a dark black shaded solid, followed by Courtesan. I will kind of scooch up so you can get a little closer look. Courtesan is, again, a very delicately speckled peachy pink, followed by Candlelight, which is a new colorway that I came out with, and that is like a deep golden yellow ochre, if that makes any sense, followed by Tiptoe, which is also a very delicately speckled light pink beige, and then it just repeats itself after that. So yeah, I'm very happy with the way this turned out. And I should also mention that I used 2 different bases. So I used my Volca base and my Nouveau base. Volca is a fingering 4-ply, which is a merino nylon cashmere blend, and Nouveau is a single ply fingering weight, which is 100% superwash merino. And the 2 play very well interchangeably, and yeah, it's you really can't tell from far away, and even up close, it just adds like a really nice, subtle texture to each stripe. So I really, really like the way this turned out. I did not do any sleeve shaping on this because in the past, anytime I do sleeve shaping, it just turns out to be like sausage casing on my arm. So you can tell the sleeve already is very fitted on me. So what I did was just I picked up all the stitches for the sleeves and then just knit a straight tube, and then did a little rapid decrease for the sleeve by the wrist. So it worked out really well. I like the way it turned out. No complaints here. And I did not swatch. I used Kristen's unscientific method of guessing gauge, and I think it turned out quite nicely. So again, your mileage may vary. If you feel more comfortable swatching, I highly recommend that you swatch. I'm one of those people that like to live on the edge, do as I say, not as I do, and Bob's your uncle. Yes, new sweater. I'm very, very happy with it. I highly recommend this pattern to beginner knitters. It's, again, just a very simple, quick potato chip knit. And again, by potato chip, I mean that, you know, once you finish one stripe, you just want to knit the next, just one more row, one more row, one more stripe, one more stripe. You get the idea. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this project. And yes, I am going to be offering these colorways in this week's update and in the coming weeks as well, in case you missed out, because I'm sure by the time I publish this episode, I will have already had my shop update. But yes, fret not, I will be dyeing these colorways in the weeks to come, so hopefully if you do want to get your mitts on these colorways, you will have a chance to. And sadly, no, I will not be offering kits, and many of you have been asking me if I will be offering kits for this sweater, and I've offered kits for sweaters in the past, and it creates a whole world of insanity for me. I've just decided going forward I'm not going to be offering any sweater kits anymore. For shawls, maybe, we'll see. For smaller accessory projects, sure, but for sweater quantities, I can't do that. So there's that. Moving along, I do have a new cast on to share with you. I'm not quite sure when I cast this on. I think it might have been after the new year, like right the day after New Year's Day or something, but you guys, I dipped into the Cormo. I did. And if you've been following this channel for quite some time, you know how much I love me some Cormo. And yeah, I will show you this skein. This is yarn that I purchased from Rhinebeck. Actually, this type of yarn has a very interesting story behind it because, yes, several Rhinebecks ago, I want to say five Rhinebecks ago, I picked up one of these skeins, and it is from Foxhill Farm. They're based in Massachusetts. This is their label. It's Foxhill Farm, and this is a Cormo cross base. It's fingering weight, and it is just so scrummy, you guys. It's delicious. And each skein has 394 yards. So I picked up one of these skeins and, you know, took it home and for the life of me could not find the perfect project for it because it is, you know, again, 394 yards per skein, which I believe is about, I could be wrong, 380 meters. My metrics are completely off, so I apologize, but I guess that's ballpark. And I couldn't for the life of me find the perfect project for this. I wanted it to be something special because... So this sat on my shelf, and lo and behold, another Rhinebeck rolls around, and when I go, I visit the Foxhill Farm booth, and they have the same exact yarn there, same exact sheep, and I picked up another matching skein. I'm like, oh yay, I can finally make something with this yarn. And I bring it home. Again, no project sticks out to me, and finally I decide it needs to become a sweater. Foxhill Farm, from what I know, they don't have a very significant online presence. I think you have to actually call them, and anyway, I ended up waiting another year for for Rhinebeck to roll around, picked up another skein, and this just became a habit, a tradition, like visit the Foxhill Farm booth, pick up another matching skein. And then I went to the New England Fiber Fest with Tanya, my friend Tanya, and lo and behold, Foxhill Farm was there, and I was like, all right, I'm getting a fourth skein, and I'm going to make a sweater with this. I need to use this yarn because it's just burning a hole in my stash. So I picked up a skein there, and when I brought it home, I was kicking myself because it did not match the other yarn in my stash. It was just a completely different colorway, different sheep altogether. Kristen. Anyway, yeah, all that to say that I finally settled on a project New Year's Day or a couple days afterwards. I was scrolling Ravelry and stumbled on the Quill Shawl by Brooklyn Tweed. It is a traditional shawl, square-shaped shawl where you knit a plain square and then you knit the edging and increase at all four corners to create a square shawl. And they would, back in the day, they would always use the term HAP up, meaning like put your hat on to stay warm while you went to work. Anyway, this pattern caught my eye, and as soon as I saw it, I immediately thought of the Cormo in my stash. So on New Year's Day, I cast on the Quill Shawl, guys. Yeah, so here we are. And I already finished knitting the center square. So it's all just pure garter stitch, knit flat. So this made for some really nice meditative mindless knitting. So right now what you're looking at is me picking up all the stitches along the edges. I know I said I wasn't going to knit any more shawls because I have enough shawls, but I honestly could not think of anything else this yarn wanted to be. I couldn't find any sweater pattern that it wanted to be. It wanted to be a hat. Hat. It wanted to be a hat, and it fits the yarn so well, you guys. If I have a favorite fiber, it's Cormo. So I'm really happy that I was able to find a project for this yarn, and I'm really looking forward to being able to wear it and enjoy it, and this is going to keep me so toasty because, you guys, I went outside earlier, and it's properly winter right now.
What a wow it's been out in that side. This year's got temps in the simple dippets.
Yeah. I think I made a good choice. So that is what I've been working on, my friends. Come to think of it, that is all the knitting content that I have to share with you this week. Wow, really short episode. But I guess I will roll along into the blather segment where I chat about what's happening in my life, should you care to stick around. But for those of you wondering, because I always forget to mention it in every episode, but I always get asked in the comments, you know, what project is hanging on Margot, my lovely assistant back there. She is wearing the Belmont Cardigan, a pattern by Gudrun Johnston. I knit this a while back out of Tuku wool in their Uyo colorway, and I don't know if you can see, but yeah, there she is. And I love, like, this was such an enjoyable pattern to knit. I'm just kicking myself because I did swatch for this pattern. I did swatch and I did get gauge, but it just ended up too small for my liking. It's very snug on me and it's pretty cropped. It is knit from the bottom down, so I can't rip out the ribbing at the bottom. I know there is a way to fix it and knit it longer, but honestly, I'm just so beyond that point. I don't have the energy to do it at this point. And I did talk about possibly destashing it to my niece who just turned 13 years old. I can't even believe it. But anyway, she is definitely not going to be able to fit into this because when I measured her for her bat mitzvah dress, we are actually pretty much the same size. So yeah, I can't believe it. So yeah, that's not going to fit her. And you know, so I guess it's going to Margot. You know, Margot's gonna wear it from, it's even kind of snug on her now that I think about it. You know, just on the, she's a busty gal. She's a little bit more bustier than I am. But anyway, in case you're wondering, that is the Belmont Cardigan by Gudrun Johnston. Highly recommend it. It's a wonderful pattern. As for life stuff, again, Dennis and I had a really nice, quiet holiday. Yeah, we pretty much stayed home Christmas Day and rang the New Year in on telly, as probably many people did. It was very bizarre because normally Bushwick and Brooklyn are noisy, rowdy, loudy during this time of year, and it was just dead. It was very quiet. So yeah, that was a little strange, but you know, hey, Corona times, we're all kind of still staying home. But one thing that I am kind of excited to share with you, and again, I am not sponsored in any way, although I wish I was, because I highly recommend this service if you're looking to unload a bunch of photos off of your phones, your iPhone or your smartphone, because every year I kick myself. Like, I have all these photos on my phone and I never do anything with them. I never print them out. They're just living in the ether on the cloud. And so one morning I just took an hour and I actually used this app called Chatbooks. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. And again, not sponsored, but a friend of mine told me about them, and basically it's really quick, it's really easy. You just open the app and then select all the photos from your iPhone that you want printed out into a book, and a couple weeks later they send you a nice little book full of all of your images from your iPhone and from Instagram. It's wonderful. So yeah, this is what it looks like. You can choose a cover, and this one says 2020. Not that it's a year we particularly want to remember because it was a crappy year, but there are some photos in here. Despite the hard times and the difficult times, I definitely just kind of wanted a little time capsule to remember the good times and the bad times. So in the beginning, I do have some photos printed out from Vogue Knitting Live. So, you know, just some friend photos in there, and they put the date up there for you. And then, yeah, just, you know, it's me and Ellie and Julie from Sweet Sparrow. We all got together. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but yeah, that was for Ellie's birthday. But yeah, just some really good ones in here. Lots of cat photos. You know, me and Dennis wearing masks on a hike. I mean, but they let you customize and lay everything out to your liking. So it's not just, you know, random photos or whatever, but you know, I got some of the outdoor eating situations happening in Bushwick. So that'll be interesting to look back on. And let me see, got some judgy photos in there. Just some street photography that I took, you know, when we went on some walks. So yeah, I highly recommend this if you guys are, you know, usually in the same boat where you have all these photos that you never get around to printing. This just makes it so easy to just drag and drop and print it out. So yeah, it would be awesome if they could become a sponsor of this channel because I use them, again, all the time. Anyway, I thought I would share that with you, and yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, photography's going strong. I've, believe it or not, have fallen back in love with the idea of street photography. I definitely kind of dipped in for a little bit and then got cold feet and then dipped out of it. But lately I've just been watching a lot of YouTube channels where a lot of street photographers, they do point of view shooting. So I don't know, they strap on these GoPros and they just go around the neighborhood and show you and talk you through like what's going on in their mind when they stop and take a photo, which I find, I don't know, there's some of them are really relaxing. To be honest, it kind of feels like armchair travel because some of these photographers are based in London, some of them are based in Australia. It's really cool just to kind of see their perspective walking around the streets, and just watching and learning from, how they take photos and whatnot. So anyway, that's what's been on my radar lately. Again, I'll link to some of my favorites down below in case you want to check them out. Even if you're not into photography, again, it's like armchair travel, since we're all kind of stuck at home, not being able to travel anymore. So yeah. Anyway, I am going to end things there. Thank you so much, as always, for hanging out with me. If you're new here, welcome to my little corner of the interwebs. Please feel free to like and subscribe down below. I put a video out for your viewing pleasure every week. And until the next video, happy knitting, happy sewing, happy making, and I'll see you next time. Bye!